Yeah.
Look like the snow in here. What up, my guys? Love your shirt, Ronald. Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay, the second show of the day. Had to find some time to do a show with my guy Ronald here. A lot of stuff going on over here, but we're still trying to catch here. I'm your host, Jay Money. We have the Cabang with us, my guy Ronald Cabang, aka U Capper, with the CWA shirt on, man. If you guys know, man, we got a collab shirt, myself, Ski, and Ronald. If you guys want to check that out as well. Obviously, I got plenty of shirts, but regards to that, we're trying to cash today here. Ronald, what's up with you, my brother? How is everything going on your side over there?
Yeah, man. Yesterday did pretty good. 2-1 on the game. I should have took that Rockets first half instead of the full game. We were kind of on opposite sides on that one, but obviously, things didn't go the right way the second half. But
Mhm.
cash on the Nuggets there. I got the +1 luckily because it went back to -1 towards the end of the game. Towards the end of the day, and then we cashed that over that we gave out as best bet yesterday too. So yeah, man. Hopefully we just keep giving out winners here, man.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. My daughter is down there. She's trying to get on the show. She's talking.
you,
She's
you
literally
trying to
down
climb
there
up?
talking. Yes, bro. She's been talking like since she was 2 months old. But this little lady here, but she likes a couple plays today, and let's get straight into it today, my guys. But let's get over here to the first game. We're going to the streets of Orlando here. We have the Magic getting 8.5 points at the house here, Bruno. And I'd like for you to try to talk me in the Magic here. We might have to start a game here on the show. Like talk me into something, or I
Talk
can't
to
talk you
yeah.
off. You know what I'm saying? But I know that the Raptors are 3-9 straight up on the road. Why do I want to lay 8.5 points with them? And they already showed that they can barely even win games on the road, let alone win by double digits here. So we know that the Magic offense is somewhat lackluster, but they can keep some games close here. I'm heavily leaning Magic plus 8.5 here. What are we doing here?
Yeah, to me, I was looking at this game last night, and I talked to some of my buddies, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I like the Raptors," but I was giving them some reasons for the Magic here because Magic as home dogs, they actually been covering that spot 8-3 ATS as home dogs. Raptors on the other side as road favorites, they haven't been covering 1-3 only, one and
Mm-hmm.
three ATS, and also looking at them on the road specifically on the offensive side of the ball, they're struggling on the road, and that leads to 2-5 ATS on the road against teams with a losing record. So that means these larger lines they're not covering. They might be winning the game, but they're not covering these large lines here, and that's
Right.
something here where obviously Orlando their offense hasn't been doing too great lately. But at the same time, they're playing a style of ball where they can keep close with other teams. And with Toronto already struggling offensively on the efficiency on the
Mm-hmm.
road, that helps. This is gonna be like an ugly game, and ugly games tend to go towards the dog and towards the under. I like the under in this one as well because both
Mm-hmm.
teams really play a slow pace. And then if Raptors are going to struggle offensively, if Orlando's going to struggle offensively, that's just going to be an ugly, slow paced game, a low scoring game. And 8.5 in a low scoring game, you typically means one team is going to try and dominate. But I don't see that here. I think there's a lot of length on this Orlando team that could stay with a lengthy Toronto team. So defensively, matchup wise, they line up. Both teams struggling offensively in their current situations. To me, it's plus 8.5, and also towards the under.
Facts. Now I could see a 114-107 type of game in this one, close one. But yeah, I mean, and Van Fleet has been struggling as well. That's something worth to mention because he is one of the best 3-point shooters on the team. So if he's struggling, that's not great for them because they need him to be the best 3-point shooter on the team, not the worst. So that could be why they're struggling right now. But Magic, we always talk about these teams as well. Magic just seem like the type of team where they lose games, but they can keep them close. We saw them just play the Clippers really close as well.
Yep.
But yeah, the under should be a good look in this one. Always, you could always look towards an under with Raptors games. Sometimes they do try to push the pace, but going up against the Magic squad that is also struggles to score as well, they're going to try to slow the pace down. Like you
Yep.
said, Ronald, could be a real icky, sticky type of defensive type of game, low scoring, which that would favor the dog and definitely favor the under. The couple of plays that I'll be looking in this one, Magic plus the 8.5 and the under the total in this one, Ronald. I definitely think that
Yeah.
those can go 2-0 in this one. Like,
Here's one other thing to note too. When Toronto travels from home to a road game, they're 1-5 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. So that travel spot from going from home to road is something that they're struggle with. And so that's a spot they're in tonight too as well. So maybe that's another way to kind of push us towards that Magic.
Yeah, that's a good point there. It's a good point. I could only look at the magic ones in this one, my guys. I'm not sure if somebody was calling me right now, but if you don't have caller ID, I'm not answering that shit. But lean magic, lean under in that way, man. Let's go over here to the streets of Indiana here. We have the Pacers laying 4.5 points at the house, Ronald. Only one day of rest coming home from a 7-game road trip. It's not necessarily a spot that I'd like to back a team. In fact, it's actually a fade spot. So I
Yeah.
never looked to back a team in this situation. And you look at it as well, they have the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow on deck. So you could also get possible look ahead to a marquee game the next game. Obviously, Porzingis is a huge question mark in this one, Ronald. You have any info in this game for us?
Yeah, looking at this one, I think we see the same see this game pretty much the same way. Pacers finally home after a long 7-game road trip, fourth game in 6 nights as well. First leg of back-to-back games, so a lot of different spots here that kind of puts them in a fade position. One thing that you look at, and this is pulling from the database here, is home favorites off of at least a 5-game road trip, 15-25 against the spread dating back to last season. So far this season, only 1-5 against the spread. So continuing to push a fade of the Pacers in that spot there. And I know Beal is out, right? And the Wizards, one thing that they have been doing with Beal out is covering the line. They're 4-3 straight up, but 6-1 against the spread when Beal is out of the lineup. So the books are over adjusting for the absence of Beal. One thing to note is Porzingis. He's a game time decision, but I did look at how they've done. They've only had one game where both Beal and Porzingis were out. The Wizards covered and won that game outright as dogs. So even if he's out, I think the Wizards take care of business here. I think Pacers are just in a really bad spot.
Right.
So I did take this one, Wizards plus 4.5 as an official player.
Yeah, and I couldn't talk to you. Go ahead.
Other thing too, if Miles Turner is out, I would look towards the over. In this game.
Every time.
2018, this is like a blind
every time, bro.
Ski, Ski probably told you about this one, but yeah, me and Ski's been on this one for a while. Since 2018, when Miles Turner is out for the Pacers, they hit at a 70% rate to the over, 65-27 over a 4-year span when Miles Turner is out of the lineup for the Pacers to the over. So if he's out, I'm taking that over.
I like it, man. That's a good look right there. Another thing to look at, the Pacers are the worst team in the NBA in scoring in the first quarter, guys. So just from what I've seen, this is all about patterns. That's what we do in the NBA, and that's why early season is somewhat can be difficult because you're trying to figure out the new patterns of these teams. The new pattern so far for the Pacers has been fade them in the first quarter, and then they come back with it in the second quarter with a push as well. I don't know why, for whatever reason, but they come out terrible in the first quarter, and then they come back in the second quarter, cover the second quarter line, and most likely sometimes the first half as well. So I'm not saying it's what they'll do here. That's just what the pattern of this team has been time and time again. So Steve Stevens in the chat, Wizards first quarter money line. I'm sure you know that's the only way I could. That's the only way I could look in that first quarter. Lean Wizards first quarter, lean that way full game as well. Obviously Turner's a huge question mark here. So is Porzingis as well. But like Ronald just said there. Regardless here, this would be a spot play regardless of who's on playing out there. We could only look towards the Wizards in this one. It would be a fade of the home team coming home from a 7-game road trip. Only one game, 1 day as well, a rest in between that. And just let you guys know, if they only have 1 day of rest, they're not going to practice that day, guys. These are NBA players. These are human beings as well. That's kind of how you have to look at this, guys. These are humans as well. You come back off 7-game road trip, been away from home for 2 weeks, you're not practicing that day. You know what I'm saying? So they're coming in here just going with what they know, not necessarily game planning for the Wizards here. I think that's an interesting note here, guys. Things that no one really looks about in this one. But so over here to the streets of Cleveland here, Ronald. Man, we talk some really sharp stuff on this show here, but let's go ahead and talk about this one. Going to the streets of Cleveland here, we have the Cavs laying 3.5 versus the Kings in this one. Ronald, Fox is a little banged up in this one. He's questionable. Donovan Mitchell didn't attend a shoot around, but that doesn't mean that he's ruled out. Ronald, how are we looking at it in this game?
Yeah, this one, I like a specific take on this one here. We talked about it right before the show, just because of the news of Donovan Mitchell. We're not 100% sure if he's going to play because he missed the shoot around, but the Cavs are well rested and they're really strong at home. Right. Cavs been very dominant at the home on the home team as a home team, specifically on their defensive side of the ball. They've been dominant on the defensive side of the ball. 11-1 straight up, 9-1-2 against the spread. But they've also gone under in 6 straight home games, and it's primarily because they're keeping the opponent's team totals under. Even like so, if we look at 12 games so far, if we look at the opponents, they're 8-4 to their team total under this season for their Cavs opponents. 3 of those games went into overtime. So if we look at regulation only, those 3 unders would have hit. So if we just look at regulation, 11-1 to the under team total. If I can't see this one going into overtime, I think Cavs take care of business tonight. But I want to focus primarily on that team total under for the Kings. I see it at 109.5. The Kings also, as road dogs, they struggle in that spot too. 1-6 straight up, 5-2 to the under. I looked at how they do on their team totals as road dogs, 6-1 to the under on their team total as road dogs in that situation. Fox being out, if Fox is out or in, it doesn't really matter to me. Right. I think if he's out, I don't think anyone that is on that roster, as far as like who would replace him, can really do what he does. Exactly. But if Fox plays, then he's playing hobbled. He's been playing injured for a while now. So
for a month.
A lot of things to me are pointing towards the Kings struggling in this one. And I just like I said right before the show, I didn't want to mess with the spread because I don't know what Mitchell's going to do. But regardless, I think they're going to stay under the 109.5. I think this is a spot where they probably don't even hit 100. I think Cleveland's defense is that good, and their bigs are getting healthier and playing well together. So that's the way that I look at it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't talk you up, man. I love the way you look at games, Ron. I must say, I like the way you breaking it down. Like I said yesterday on yesterday's show, you're looking at different layers that I don't even look at. You see what I'm saying? It's some sharp stuff there, man. And on this team total, I mean, I don't understand how I don't ride with you here, especially where you're breaking it down. You're talking me into it. The Cavs have went under 6 straight games as well, so they have Jared Allen back. We remember when they have their trees, Mobley and Allen, it's almost virtually impossible to score against them. I mean, now don't get it twisted. You can hit it if you get hot from 3. That's how you can get over this. But if they're missing Fox, there's nobody that can do it right after that. So I can only look towards Cavs here. Mm-hmm. Mitchell is not ruled out as well. So the team does have a game tomorrow versus OKC. In my opinion, that's probably when you want to rest some guys when OKC comes in, going up against the Kings team that's already beaten you. See what I'm saying? This is a revenge spot. So I want to take Cavs here. I think that, to be honest with you, Mitchell missing shooting around, this line coming down from 5.5 to 3.5, they're making it just a little bit better, to be honest with you. Now, the Kings have historically been great versus the Cavs. They are 8-2 against the spread last 10 games, but those were somewhat different. I mean, that's going back to 2017. Since last year, it's a totally different Cavs team. So far, it's only been 2-2 since last year. So regardless of that, I want to take Cavs here. I think regardless of who's in or out, I think the Cavs take care of business here. They've been at the house getting hot. This team is 10-1 straight up at the house this year, guys. And I think they keep it going. No, 11-1 straight up at the house. Yep. And I don't think that the second win comes today versus the Kings with a hobbled Fox in this one. So Cavs -3.5. That's the only way I could look at this game. Heavy lean Cavs first quarter and full game. And I'm probably going to ride with you on that Kings team total under there, Ronald. And if Fox is out, obviously that's going to plummet down even more, Ronald. So
yeah, if Fox is out too, Jay, I'm not a big prop guy, but I would look at Sabonis triple-double. He's been flirting with that the last 5 games. I think he hit one the other day against the Bulls. So he's been flirting with a triple-double a lot lately. And if Fox is out, they're probably going to run the offense through them because Monk isn't a true point guard, right? He's more of a spot-up shooter. Mitchell is a defender, right? He's not much of a facilitator either. And then I think Terrence Davis is a game-time decision as well, but I think he's more of a scorer as well, not really a facilitator. So only one really facilitating on that squad is Sabonis. So I would look towards a triple-double in his way.
Who was that you said? Game time decision? You said Huerter?
Terrence Davis.
Oh, Terrence Davis. Yeah. I mean, he plays off the bench. So, I mean, I wouldn't really – but, yeah. No, Mitchell's a huge question mark here. But I think that he could play in this one, guys. Obviously, coming off one of his best games of the season. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe you kind of want to keep that going. But let's see. I didn't see him being injured, though. That's why I'm like, lower right leg, what the hell happened to him? You guys been off for a few days. But I don't know. They could just be playing with people. We know the books. Sometimes they kind of just mess around. They could be knowing that he's in there, but I think the Cavs get it done here, especially with some revenge. Last time they faced off against them, so it's saying that Fox is probable, but who knows, man? You never know.
I think one thing with Mitchell, Jay, is they're rested, right? They haven't played since Tuesday.
Right.
I think the reason why, if he does miss this game, is probably because they know they could take care of it.
Right.
That's basically
Facts.
what I think is
Facts right there.
right. If they know they're gonna be able to win, they're probably gonna rest them because they got a game tomorrow.
Well, look, I can tell you this for sure. What do we see in the NBA? Mitchell ruled out. That doesn't mean take Kings. Let's just put it
Yep.
that way. So if you
Yep.
like Kings already, you take them. But don't. I'm here to tell you, don't take something based off of injury. That I've lost plenty of money. You see what I'm saying in the past years. I just want you guys to learn from my mistakes. If you see Donovan Mitchell ruled out, that may even be say is take the Cavs. So it sounds crazy as hell, but I believe it's cashed like the last 7 or 8 times a player's been ruled out. They cash, guys. Let's
Yeah.
head over here to the streets of Philadelphia here. We have the Sixers laying 5 points versus the Lakers. Ronald, I don't have much on this game. I do know that the Sixers are coming off 3 straight losses, road
Yeah.
losses as well. They've had 3 days off since that double overtime loss versus the Rockets. They probably bounced back here, but I don't know if I want to lay the points with them here versus the Lakers. What do you think?
Yeah, this one is tough. They have covered 7 straight home games, fifth straight game on the road for the Lakers, I believe. And so they started off that road trip for the Lakers pretty good, and then they lost the last two. So maybe the travel fatigue is starting to kick in. But like you said, man, I don't want to touch the spread. I think I would look more towards the under in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Road dogs this season for the Lakers. I think they're road dogs are so this is a full season trend. Road dogs this season on the fifth road game of a road trip, 12-3 to the under. So it seems like the travel fatigue hits these teams around that fifth game. Lakers on the road as well, 27th in the league in offensive rating. Sixers bottom 5 in pace and top 5 in defensive rating at home. They play with the 25th 25th offensive rating at home as well. So Sixers struggle offensively at home. So there's a lot of things that's just pointing me to both teams not really scoring too high. Sixers slow pace, Lakers play a fast pace, but if they're not offensively efficient, then they usually have a high total, and you could take advantage of that and grab the under. Sixers also 6-2 to the under as home favorites as well. Combined scoring in those 8 games, 212.8, and the total here is like around what is it 228. That's a huge gap between
Right.
what they actually average. So I looked at another team that they played against with a similar pace, which is the Pacers, and that game also went under by a few games as well, a few points as well. So a lot of things to me are just pointing towards the under. I would lean that way and stay away from the side.
My guy he's looking at similar teams to that situation, man. Some sharp shit, Ronald. I must say, bro. That's some sharp stuff right there, man. You surprised me, but I mean I like seeing it, man. I mean, it's not surprising me that you're sharp, but it's just surprising me with some of the stuff you're saying. Oh, I even looked at this. Oh, look, it's some sharp
Right.
stuff, man. I must say, y'all know how I am, guys. I'm only gonna have sharp guys on the show, man. So everybody that comes on the show that's ever even been on the show are some sharp guys. We all trying to cash. My guy Jamrock kicks in the chat. I appreciate your time, man. He said I'm picking up my kid now, putting the YouTube on the phone, man. We trying to get some cash. Got to pick up the kid, but I got to pay for the stuff that the kid wants as well, man. But yeah, no look for me on this game. I'm not even going to waste your time, but I definitely understand the look on that one. It's crazy because the line it opened up at 224, and it's money coming in on the over. It's probably with the news that AD and LeBron are going to play, but definitely the Lakers are definitely playing some good defense. And if the Sixers want to get back to their winning ways, they're going to have to lock up as well. Let's get over here to the streets of Brooklyn here, Ronald. Nets laying 7.5 points at the house versus the Hawks. My guy Nathan Cerner saying, "Hey, Andy, come on the first show disrespecting Trey." And I'll tell you this, Ronald. Now, obviously, the Trey Young has a lot of stuff going on with Nathan Millen. The Hawks in general have a ton of stuff going on. The walking wounded, Collins out now. DeJounte Murray out for some weeks. You got Trey Young going back and forth with the coach, but still, though, just from a basketball perspective, Trey Young, the usage will be there. I know hasn't been shooting the ball well. He's probably going to let up 10 threes today. You see what I'm saying? I just thought I got funny feeling that Trey Young might show up tonight. Not saying that the Hawks will cover, but I just feel like as far as prop wise, I wouldn't want to fade Trey Young because we know the usage is going to be there heavy with DeJounte Murray out.
Yeah, and we get more games under the belt for Bogdanovich too. And hopefully he gets. I mean, if you're a Hawks backer, that's who you really want to really support Trey with DeJounte out because you're not really looking at anyone else They're before Bogdanovich came back. Their bench was really thin. They were working with guys like AJ Griffin and Jarrett Culver and even Jalen Johnson. They had to come off the bench and kind of put up heavy minutes. So that's something that Bogdanovich has to be that guy with DeJounte out. But a lot of things to me are pointing towards the Nets here, and primarily towards towards the under. Actually, Hawks, they've been struggling offensively, especially on the road here. 2-0 straight up and against the spread on the road versus teams on the first leg of back-to-back. Nets play tomorrow. 2-6 straight up and against the spread as road dogs. So they don't do well in these road dog situations as well. But the Nets, when they're at home, they actually play up against opponents with a winning record, and that's what the spot they're in today. 5-1 straight up, 5-0, 5-1 against the spread. But like I said, I like the under here primarily because of the Nets. When they play really good defense at home, and on the first leg of back-to-backs, they kind of slow down the pace a little bit. So first leg of back-to-back games, 5-1 to the under. Home favorites 8-4 to the under. Facing teams with a winning record, 10-3 to the under. So they play up against their to teams with a better record. They play better defense. They take control of the pace as well in the first leg of back-to-back games because they know with these older guys, Durant, Kyrie, they need to manage their minutes and work with the game flow. So they slow down the pace. And with the Hawks just struggling offensively altogether, missing, they're going to be missing DeJounte. Bogdanovich still trying to come back. I think a lot of it is pushing me towards the under here. And the total is pretty high, 229.
Yeah,
I think it's too high.
The Nets have been at the house. This is their 7th straight home game. Just listen to what I tell you guys. When team gets at the house and they get hot, this is the reason why they've won 5 of the last 6 games. I've just been at the house chilling, man. No travel anywhere. Just go out and ball out. Now, they are only 2-3-1 against the spread over the last 6 games, but still 5-1 straight up. It's too many points for me to lay. The Nets have plenty of shooters. I believe they do get Ben Simmons back here today as well. It's a tough game for me. I would like to lean towards the Nets, but just when you count out a team, that's when the Hawks probably come in here and have a good game. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Nets kept it going here. They are playing some good basketball right now, a ton of shooters. They're basically fully healthy right now. They do have a game tomorrow versus the Pacers, but I don't think they're looking ahead to that one. They probably want to take care of business tonight. I could see Trae Young having a little bit better game, but it's going to be him and Bogdanovich, and I'm not sure where the rest of the scoring is going to come from here. Jam Rock Kicks, couldn't talk you off. You do want to, in theory, look at some centers when you go up against the Nets. So I wouldn't be surprised if Capella, not points, but rebounds for sure could definitely get there in that one. But maybe points. They're definitely going to need his lobs and alley-oops tonight, my guys. But anything else? Let's get to the next game, bro. Let's keep it going here. 3 games left. Let's go over here to the streets of New Orleans here, man. Might eat some seafood. Might get some crab legs and shrimp. Dig what I'm saying? But Pelicans here getting a point and a half here at the house versus the Suns. Ronald, I'd like to be on the Pelicans here today. 3 major injuries, Herb Jones, obviously Ingram as well. Then Jose Alvarado banged up. He took a really hard hit last game. Might even had a concussion. He didn't come back. Suns coming off back-to-back games where they got smoked, got smacked up, Ronald. I don't really want to go against them here. What do you think happens in this game?
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of the same way, right? We talked about the Suns' strong off losses, right? They prior to getting beat down by the Celtics, 7-0 against the spread off of losses. But I really like this Pelicans team and what they've been doing. But also, it's just like counter narratives right now, right? Because the Suns off a loss, Pelicans just playing really well right now. I think they've won 8 of their last 10 games or something like that. They just really motivated. They're playing really good ball right now. Their chemistry is off the charts, even with injuries to Ingram. I think one thing that I wanted to look at here is just really the motivation for the Suns off the bat. So first quarter Suns, and then kind of just get in and get out, like what Ski says, right? First quarter,
like hot potato.
One thing that I was looking at off a loss, including the game where they were down by 10 after the first quarter. So this is part of that. The average first quarter margin for the Suns is plus 4.7 off of a loss. Pelicans against teams with a winning record, their average first quarter margin is -3. That doesn't mean they don't cover the full game. That just means they get off to a slower start. So putting those two things combined, to me, I think the motivation's on the Suns side. I think they come out early, kind of take advantage of that. Chris Paul had a bad game, his first game back, so I think he wants to show up in this one as well. And he hates Alvarado, so I think that's just a lot of things pointing me to a good early start, and then just get in and get out.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off that, man. Pelicans have been they're at the house 2 straight games as well, 4 out of the last 5 at the house. They're actually sitting number 1 on top of the Western
Yeah,
Conference
1-2 right
standings
now.
here. So it's crazy. But yeah, it's a tough game for me. I want to take Pelicans. They have same season revenge plus playoff revenge, plus the coach as well gonna have some up against Money Williams. You always gonna want to come to play versus Phoenix and show Money Williams. Yeah, I'm a big dog too. Yeah, I can coach. I know I used to be assistant coach on your squad, but I could do my own thing over here. See what I'm saying? So, but despite I want to take Pelicans. Suns coming off back-to-back games where they were basically down 40 points. I can't bet against them here. I wouldn't be surprised Suns came out with some here. And
Yeah.
Pelicans not full strength as well, guys. So if the Suns were off those bad losses and I could still get Pelicans full strength, I'd probably still take them. But I hope you understand why it's a stay-off game for me. I do see some championship-style defense being played by both teams here. I don't see how this game gets over. I know that the Pelicans sometimes can push the pace. I know that Jose Alvarado really can be their great defender as well, but he likes to push the pace as well coming off the bench, guys. So that's something I've noticed. When Alvarado gets a steal or something, he pushes the pace fast. If he's possible not out there, I still think this game get under, even though they're without 2 of their best defenders in Jose Alvarado and Herb Jones. Tough game for me, guys. Real quick, because Ronald, I didn't talk about this game earlier. This Pistons versus Grizzlies game. Did you have any quick thoughts on that game, my brother?
Real quick, the reason why I stayed off of that game is because it's a double-digit line, and Detroit's been covering double-digit lines, double-digit dog lines. I think they covered 6 straight, but the Grizzlies also, they do really good in spots like this because they like to showboat and play really well against weaker teams.
They do, bro.
A lot of times you want to fade teams who are double-digit favorites, but Grizzlies is not one of those teams. They like to put it on. They've only been double-digit favorites once this season. They beat the Hornets by 31. Damn. And you going back to last season, I think they're like 8-3 or 7-3 in double-digit favorites. They're winning by a huge margin in those games. So this was a quick stay away from me when I seen the line.
Exactly. Now, I want to ask your thoughts on that. People in the chat asking about it, and I didn't go over that in the first show, guys. So there he is. Ronald kind of sort of leaning towards Grizzlies in that one, but staying off the game. They do like the showboat, and when they're going up against, and the reason why I stayed off of it, Pistons have been playing well. I'd like to take them here plus 10.5, but you said something there. Ja Morant, first off, they kind of own the Pistons. Every time they face them, they can get whatever they want. We know Pistons don't really have a center. Ja Morant loves to get into the paint. This is a Friday night home game as well, where we know they're going to be turned up in there. I can't bet against the Grizzlies here. It's exactly what Ronald said. They're facing a bad team. This could be like a highlight reel type of game for Ja Morant and the guys. That's what they do. 2 more games here, guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Utah here. Jazz land 1.5 points at the house versus the Wolves in this one, Ronald. Should we howl with the Wolves? Do you have Timberland boots? If you have them, put those Timmies on, guys. But you like anything here, Ronald?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna focus more so on the total than the side. I can't back the Jazz here as favorites. They're really not that good in that spot. 3-8 against the spread as favorites so far this season. I see you on the Wolves. Okay.
Background change.
Yeah, I can't see the Jazz. I mean, they're just not good as favorites in this spot. They do their offense is really good, especially in the first half, and also they play a quick pace. Both the Wolves and the Jazz play a fast pace. So the way that I was looking at this game specifically was the first half over. Jazz at home, they average a combined 124.1 points per game in the first half. The Wolves as road dogs average a combined 122.1 points per game in the first half. So to me, just how they start games in these specific spots, the pace of play for both of these teams, Jazz second in the league at 124.8 in first half offensive rating. That's second only to the Celtics.
Damn.
In the league. But the Wolves, the last 5 games, they haven't playing really good defense, but I think that has to be the adjustment because they just lost Cat, right? So they're still trying to adjust their defense, but with I think they're going to start to balance out their starting lineup pretty soon, and things are going to start to click for them without Cat for a while. And I think they're going to be a play-on team pretty soon, and that, man, if you're on the Wolves today, it could start today.
Pretty soon. Come on now, Ronald. Goddamn, I mean, no, I think it started already. You know who it started up against? You got people who pay attention to the show every day. We just cashed with the Wolves the other day versus the Memphis Grizzlies. That's when it started. Now the next game versus Thunder, it's kind of crazy because teams, even though they play well, teams just don't take the Thunder seriously, and that's exactly what happened with the Wolves there. So they're actually and we just cashed on them with the Pacers as well, guys. So I've actually cashed the last two games that the Wolves have won and covered. We were on them, guys. I stayed away versus OKC, so I kind of know when to stay away from the Wolves. I know when to buy them. This is a same season revenge spot. You have the Gobert going back to Utah as well. They're giving them. I saw he was in Utah last night. They were doing things for him. Bunch of fans had signed like this Utah sign for him or something like that. So they're actually being nice to Rudy going back. You know what? I'd like for them to be nice and sit marketing out for him, to be honest with you. But no, I think the marketing is going to play. He went through shoot around. We know that Conley is on there for sure, regardless. But I don't care, man. What happened earlier this season, second game of the season, Ronald, right, where the Timberwolves really weren't playing well and the Jazz were playing their best basketball of the season. What happened? Timberwolves came out there up 15 points after the first quarter here. You see what I'm saying? They were up double digits in that game. They lost it in the second half and ended up winning the overtime, and they lost the game in overtime at home. Now this is the revenge spot. That was with Gobert and Cat on the floor. They play a lot better with just one big on the floor. Gobert can kind of play like he did with Utah. You see what I'm saying? They have the shooters. When Russell and Ant is cooking, it's hard to stop this team. You got Gobert making alley-oops, dunks, all this shit, blocks. I think the Timberwolves come out here and win this game. You could wait until marketing is ruled in, but I don't care. I like Wolves money line to win this game regardless of who's playing in this one. So plus 1.5 will go official. I'm on Wolves money line in this one. Like I said, you can wait for marketing to be ruled in. You will get a better number. I don't care. Oh,
when you're on the Wolves, I'm about to ride with you. So I'm riding with that one.
How? If y'all at the house watching this show right now, just howl one time for the one time. Just to bring the vibes in here and let's cash, man. How right now? People are like, what the hell are they doing? We rocking with the Wolves tonight, baby. Let's cash, my brother. We doing it for Gobert. Y'all know how. Last thing I got to say, when you know how it is when a player is playing his old team, you wanna beat that team for your guy. You kind of step up your level of play just for that guy right there, man. So let's go. Wolves plus the 1.5 in that one. Let's go over here to the streets of Dallas here. Last game up. We have the Mavs at the house getting a point versus the Bucks. Why is it only a point? Why is this line so short? It looks super easy to take the Bucks today, my guys. Late night ESPN game. I sense a revenge game on deck in this one, Ronald. You like anything in this game?
First, Jay, you're the only guy probably on Twitter or anywhere that could get your viewers to start howling in their house on their own. That was fucking dope. But yeah, I'm with the Mavs here. Mavs, I mean, dude. At one point in the last week, they were under 500. Then they were like, yo, we need to get motivated. We need to put things together. They won 4 of the last 5. So I think they're in a pretty good spot as far as momentum and chemistry right now. Tim Hardaway is starting to put things together. I think from a injury perspective, both teams are pretty healthy. And that's something that we rarely see now in the NBA. And with the Mavs healthy, things going their way, I think this is a spot at home that they take advantage of because they do well at home and the Bucks struggle on the road. If you look at the Bucks on the road, they're actually the worst offensive rated team in the league on the road. They struggle offensively on the road. The Mavs do well at home. I think they're 11-3 at home, I believe, straight up. But against teams with a winning record, they play up to their opponents 7-1 straight up at home. Against teams with a winning record. The one loss was by a single point to the Nuggets early in November. I think they were in a bad spot that game too. So we were expecting them to lose that one. Bucks, like I mentioned, they struggle offensively on the road, and that leads to them being an under team on the road, 8-1 to the under so far this season. And they haven't faced teams on the road with a winning record too much this season. Only one time, and that was against the Hawks as 5.5 point favorites. They lost that game outright. So giving the Mavs here 1 point as a 1 point dog. What was that?
No, I'm just sorry, Ron. I'm not trying to cut you. I was just saying, you don't say.
And so here you have the Mavs as point underdogs. I think Circa has them at pick'em now too. Circa's the sharpest book, right?
Yeah.
Circa's the sharpest book. Everyone got Bucks at -1, and they got the Mavs at pick'em. So a lot of things are pointing me towards the Mavs. I took them money line. Bucks also just 1-2-1 against the spread and 3-1 to the under on the road against teams they already beat this season. And on the other side, the Mavs with the revenge here, 2-0 and 2-0 straight up and against the spread in in-season revenge. So they've been taking care of business of in-season revenge since last season too.
Right.
That record in season revenge has been dominant for the Mavs.
I was just thinking that, bro.
Yeah, they've been really good in that spot. Home dogs, I don't think they've been a home dog at all this season. Last season they killed it in the home dog situations as well. So this is a lot of things to me that's pointing towards the Mavs taking care of business tonight. I think I'm pretty sure we're both going to be official on this one, but Mavs money line here.
Yeah, real quick, let me see. Home dog. So I know they've been a dog twice, from 3 to 4.5. Let me see. I was just trying to see if they was regard. It doesn't matter, man. If they've been at home, I don't have time to look at it right now. I mean, I'm on the Mavs in this one, guys, for a lot of reasons here. They are 4-1 straight up against the spread, and 4-1 straight up and against the spread last 5 games. Number 1 offensive rated last 5 games. This team has found something, guys. It's interesting. It's really key to find when a team are playing their worst basketball this season and when they're playing their best basketball this season. That's when you want to ride a team. You see what I'm saying? The Mavs, especially when they started out really lackluster. Mavs and Timberwolves kind of somewhat similar teams. So they had high expectations, aspirations to go deep in the playoffs, started out really lackluster, starting to put things together as well. I believe they both did the exact same thing last year as well. So it's really one of those just about finding your groove. Mavs have found their groove without Jalen Brunson. They forgot, we still have Tim Hardaway Jr. And he's taller than Brunson as well, can play a little bit better defense as well. Revenge game Jay as well, man. They lost 115 to 124. There was a back-to-back spot. They were coming from Toronto, one of the hardest back-to-backs you can have coming in and out of customs from Toronto to Milwaukee. That was November 27th. Ronald, that line opened up at -6.5. Why did this line open up -1? It should have opened up somewhere -3.5, even -3 would have been strength for the Bucks. Middleton wasn't in that game as either. So you could argue that the line could even open up as high as -5 here. Didn't open up at -1. A lot of money coming in on the Bucks all day. Spread hasn't moved. I don't care about that. I don't never put that into the cap. I don't care where the money's at here. But 7-2 against the spread last 9 at the house versus the Bucks. 11-3 last 14 at home versus winning road teams as well. Historically, 15-5 and 2 against the spread last 22 meetings versus the Bucks. And Bucks only won 3-1 against the spread last 5 road games. So that speaks volumes to what you're saying, Ronald. They're not necessarily the same team on the road. I love the Bucks. I love Giannis. I love Drew Holiday even more. It's a great Eastern Conference team. But I do think that obviously these teams won't win and cover every single game. I don't mind taking a shot with the Mavs plus the 1. I definitely think the line is all over it. This is a late night, somewhat ESPN, somewhat sleepy type of spot as well for the Eastern Conference teams. Give me the Mavs in this one plus 1. I understand that nobody likes it, guys. Let me say this again. If you like the Bucks or whoever you like, guys, bet whatever you like. I like the Mavs, so that's where I'm putting my money at. Bet whatever you feel like you think is going to win, Ronald. Let's go ahead and get out of here, my brother. Mavs, top player today in this one, Ronald. Talk about shirts real quick. Talk about Ronald's shirts, man. CWA, Cappers with Attitudes, man. It's myself, Ski, and Ronald collab shirt right there. Hit up my guy on Twitter at @U_Capper if you'd like to get one of those. I'm also going to be running a holiday sale, 50% off the shirts on the site. Jay and Shark, Smack City, Us Against the Bookies, and Let's Get Some Cash shirts. Probably do that until Christmas, my guys, and then that'll probably be it. So my girl talked me into it. We're going to have a little holiday sale for the shirts. DM me or, you know what I'm saying, just get with me on that if you like a shirt. But now let's get to some free picks. It's Us Against the Bookies every day. You're not betting against us. You're betting against whoever you're laying your money with, Ronald. Let the people know what you're liking on today's card.
Yeah, so far I've taken the Mavs money line, the Wizards plus 4.5, and the Kings team total under 109.5. Those are the 3 plays that I gave out to my clients over at Sports Memo. And I think, man, I really like today's card. I'm probably going to have about 2 more plays at the very least. I know I'm probably going to ride with you on the Wolves personally.
Please
and
do.
then a couple other plays that we discussed during the show here. Kind of talking myself and you talking me into it. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But right now, just those three plays are my officials.
Yeah, I like it. I like one more time, Ronald. Those three officials.
Mavs money line, Wizards plus 4.5, Kings team total under
I like it.
109.5.
That's 3-0 right there, Ronald. I can tell you that right now. What I'm looking at, I tell you, only two plays that I have money on. That's Mavs plus 1. You all right over there, Ronald?
Yeah, man, I'm still sick, bro. I'm still
Okay.
still
I'm like, damn, bro. You
still
all right?
chilling.
Get some water, get some tea, my guy.
I
But
got
yeah,
I got some honey and tea right here.
you over there howling too much with them Wolves now, but two plays for me, guys. Wolves money line. I'll go official at plus 1.5, but I see the Wolves winning this game. Marketing should be in. This line will probably go back up to plus 3. You might be able to get like a plus 130 on the money line. So wouldn't talk you off waiting, wouldn't talk you off betting right now. I don't care who's in. I like the Wolves to win this game. So official plus 1.5, like a referee blowing the whistle. Mavs as well plus the 1. I dropped that video overnight on YouTube, guys. So if you can, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not, and make sure you hit that notifications bell, because I sometimes drop videos just in the middle of the night, free pick videos. You could have already been on my top play of the day last night, my guys. So Mavs, Wolves for me. Honorable mentions for me, man. I'd lean Suns and Pelicans game under in that one. Would lean under in Lakers and 76ers game. Leaning Cavs heavily in that one, minus 3.5. I think there's an outside chance Mitchell may play regardless. Even if he doesn't, I might even take a better line with the Cavs in that one. Fox is banged up. He's not 100% right now. That means a lot more than Donovan Mitchell. They still have Allen and Mobley to protect the paint. I'm probably going to ride with my guy Ronald with that Kings team total under. Like I said, Allen and Mobley in there. It's going to be tough for, even if Fox plays, it's going to be tough for him to get in the paint. It's going to be tough for Sabonis tonight as well. Lean Magic as well, plus 8.5. Raptors only 3-9 straight up on the road. Can't lay 8.5 with them on the road. On the road, and that one, and lean Wizards with my guy Ronald. Hell of a show. 42 minutes in the books. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button. Subscribe. A lot of great info here. If you like it, man, hit the like button. Drop a comment as well. Let us know what you're liking tonight on tonight's card. Us Against the Bookies. Let's cash, my guys. We're out. Back tomorrow.